Hello guys, welcome back to Apollo Justice, or Ace Attorney Apollo Justice. Well, anyway, if I pause, that means I have a stuffy nose, I'm fighting a cold, and blah blah blah, blah blah blah. I sound like Dracula. The last time both men played full hand. There are four. Hold on, guys. Alright, I'm back. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, but oh well. I got me some thing to drink. There are 4 in each card in deck from Ace to King. If you look at both men hands, cheat is more obvious. Next moment, game becomes argument. The defendant trick was exposed. He took bottle in his hand, poor Mr. Smith. Miss Orley, why did you not tell the court about this from the very beginning? I thought I smelled a cover up here. Well, folks, it's time to throw back the covers. A full house is very high score hand. Not easy to make in my experience.
That alone is not enough to suspect less than
a scrupulous, butcher that word, tactic. Mr. Gavin? What is it? What's a full house?
Lawyers these days, you don't even know poker?
You can't say this bodes well for your case or your career. What is this? Some kind of secret court poker ring? Justice? You know the terms 1 pair, 2 pair, and 3 of a kind. Yes. Yeah, no problem. 2 cards with the same number make a pair, and 3 makes 3 of a kind. Good. Now picture the hand with 1 pair and 3 of the kind. That's a full house. That doesn't sound very easy to make, does it?
You can see in these players' hands in these photos.
Whoa, they both have full houses. Excuse me.
We forget there's an easy way to make a full house and an undefeated for 7 years. You cheat.
The defense may cross-examine the witness. If he did cheat in the last hand, that still leaves one important question. Mr. Wright lost that hand. Whoever heard of a professional con man losing when they cheat? Just how hard is it to make a full house anyway?
It is quite hard, da. It is making a pair, a three of a kind, at the same time.
Hold on, guys.
Alright, I'm back. It is making a pair and three of a kind at the same time.
I guess that's right. Very difficult to be sure. You can make a word as the Pokerhead Courtroom number 3. I don't think anyone calls you that, sir. Sir!
Very difficult, da. But it is impossible. It's not impossible.
Okay, full house, hard this line of questioning, a waste of time.
Compute.
There are 4 in each card deck from ace to king. 4 of each card, you say?
Da. There is 1 spade, 1 diamond, 1 heart, and 1 club for each card. It is interesting fact that the number 4 comes from the number of seasons.
Huh, you don't say. Did you just know that? There the cards are 1 to 13? And hold the cards in the deck, and you get 364 a year. Huh, you don't say. Isn't that 1 day short?
And that's why the deck has 2 jokers. And they say the second joker stands for the leap year. Thus, you have the perfect representation of the year of all deck of cards.
You don't say. We're gonna be in this courtroom for a year if it keeps going like this. If you look at both men's hands. How was it clear? Excuse me.
Da. Well, the defendant... He played 5th ace.
A 5th ace?
I still remember both very well. Mr. Smith has 3 aces. And Mr. Wright has 2. Obviously cheating a foot, or perhaps I should say a hand.
Your Honor, perhaps this can be added to the testimony without Mr. Payne's joke. Very well, the witness will add this detail to her testimony, please. If oh, I already did that. And I still remember both hands very well. Okay. Sorry. Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, guys. I keep sneezing. One, two, three. It appears that the witness is mistaken.
Mistaken? But my name.
Look at the piece of evidence clearly contradicts what you said in your testimony. That's the photo of the chip, is it not? Justice, perhaps you ought to explain to your point in a way that the judge can comprehend. In other words, use your finger to point out your point. Yes, please point out to the contradiction in this photo. What particular point is that contradicts the witness's testimony? I believe this. Miss Orley, in your testimony, you made a following claim. Mr. Smith's hand had 3 of a kind, but as you can clearly see, the victim's hand only held 2 aces. Eek!
Well, maybe the witness was simply confused.
Confused by butt.
Perhaps the defendant's hand held in 3rd ace in question.
Take another look at the evidence. As you can see, the defendant also had 2 aces in his hand. Where is the 5th ace? I see cheating, alright, and it's gonna go on right here in this courtroom. Two aces in each player's hand does make 4 aces total. Hardly proof of cheating.
Wait, please. It is true. I have seen it. The 5th ace. There was cheating. I swear.
That's odd. Why do I want to believe her, though? She must be lying, yet she's most sincere. I've seen her all day. You're right to trust your instincts. Mr. Gavin? Who knows what lies in store for us in the trial ahead? Your Honor, if I may, I have a suggestion. What that might be, Mr. Gavin? If you don't mind, perhaps we might examine the actual cards. The cards? Mr. Payne.
Yes?
The player hands on the right were set aside as evidence. They were not. The defense would like to request that the cards be shown to the court. Very well, prosecution will submit as evidence. Which will you examine? Well, if we're being real here, I don't really know. If I'm right, then wouldn't we want to... If there's any cards that don't prove cheating, there will be going... Well, nothing will. Now, which of these hands... Oh, victims were the defendant. Well, if we're correct, victim's hands, right? If it was the victim's hands that changed over in the course of the witness's testimony, the defense requested the time to examine Mr. Smith's cards. Very well, Mr. Payne, if you would.
Very well.
Time is wasting. Get to it, Justice. Yes, sir. It's doing us on its own. When examining the evidence, be sure to view it from all sides and angles. Try using the dial on the evidence viewer. That should give you a better perspective of the case. Okay, let's do this. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop. Oh. Right. What? Your Honor, look at this. One of the victim's cards. In the back is a different color.
Eh? Eh! That's impossible. But I put that card. Eek!
What was that, Miss Orley?
No, I merely said, da, I have eek!
Your Honor? Mr. Galvin, yes. Tell me, what is the easiest way to cheat in poker? To cheat? I'll tell you. One merely needs a friend, a comrade. Hold on, guys. I am sorry that I keep... I'm sorry, but let's get back. One merely needs a friend, a comrade, shall we say. The dealer. Wait, so you mean... This witness, Miss Orley. She's the cheater, the professional at I'd wager.
Nee!
Order! Focus, Justice. Time to take advantage of her mistakes. Good one. Good call, Justice. Sorry, I thought I heard something. Your Honor, please recall the testimony we just heard.
That's impossible. But I put that card in Wright's hand.
Ergo, Miss Orley conspired to cheat, not with my client, but with the victim, Mr. Shady Smith.
Oh!
Not only she cheated poorly. Therefore, it's not hard to imagine the alternation between her and the victim.
You what?
Wait, you don't mean... The defense isn't accusing the witness, isn't accusing Miss Orley? Olga Orley, are you? It's time for justice. Therefore, 3 people in the room are at the time of the incident. And if Mr. Wright isn't guilty, that means I am. The defense accuses the witness, Miss Olga Orley, of the murder.
Eek!
And she fell. But if I'm being honest, oh well, at least I caught. But if I'm being honest with you guys, Mr. Payne, where's Miss Olga Orley?
It appears she has lost conscience, Your Honor.
Mr. Justice, Your Honor, it seems that you have presented a new possibility to the court. One suggesting the connection between the witness and with Mr. Smith, the victim, Mr. Smith.
And that means?
This court cannot pronounce the verdict of the defendant at this time.
What?
I did it. I held out. I see no point in prolonging this trial this day. The prosecution will need to make further inquiries. Mr. Wright? You just can't end the trial here, Your Honor. Not yet.
What's the nonsense of the defendant spewing now?
Think. One of the cards had a different color back. Don't you wonder what that means?
What are you doing, Mr. Wright?
Really, what are you doing?
Raising an objection when you're about to get off the hook? Ridiculous.
Mr. Payne, you of all people should know. Mr. Wright has a talent of ridiculous. Perhaps we should get to the bottom of things. Let's clear the fact that about the game on the fatal night. As was said before, we alternated between two decks of cards that night.
That was said before.
The two decks at the club have two different colors, blue and red. One color per deck. Why use different colored backs? If we use the same color, two decks might get mixed. If you still use two different colors and still get mixed up, we use the red deck for the last game. Oh, I see, but that's odd. For some reason, I had the impression that you were using the blue cards. Yeah, me too. I'm sure someone said something about blue cards.
Whatever. In the end, the one card was of the wrong color got into the mix. Which means there were cheating.
Yes, a card slipped into the deck would indicate cheating, yet the card raises two serious questions. Apollo? Yes? Let's consider the first question, shall we? Think. In the last game, when was the card swapped? When? There are three broad possibilities here. This could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder. Hold on, guys. It could have been swapped before the murder, during the murder, after the murder.
Well, yeah, thanks for the news bulletin.
For the bulletin, Mr. Wright. Of course it was swapped. Oh. It might be as simple as you think, Mr. Payne. Or it might not be.
Yeah?
I'd like to hear what Apollo thinks first. When do you think the card was swapped? Well, if we're gonna be honest... Well, if I'm honest, I don't know. When the card was swapped in the deck. Before? Well, it must have happened before the murder. You mean during the game? I wonder, why? Think when you're playing poker. Which side of the cards face your opponent? The back? Something the poker hand court number 3 would likely miss. Sorry, let me think about something more. When the card was swapped... Well, weren't they swapped during the murder? During the murder. Just tell me exactly when was that? Well, very the moment of the act, I guess. Would be the moment the cards were shown. Or perhaps the moment when the cheater was revealed. Or maybe the very moment the bottle came down Mr. Smith's head. Could I have a moment? That moment could cost this case. Sorry, let me rethink this. So after the murder. Perhaps it happened after the murder.
Yes. And what? That's ridiculous. What's the point of cheating after the hands have been shown? That's silly.
Yes, but tell me, how do you swap the cards during the game? I'll take silly over impossible.
Take it from me, son. There's lots of silly in this world, but it is very impossible.
Oh, even if the backs of the cards are different color? If you pulled out during the game, you would have caught in no time. Ew. Quite true. That would mean that the blue card in questioning was swapped after the hand were shown after the murder.
Okay, this is going to pass silly and straight to crazy. I'll ask again. What's the point of cheating after the game is over? Who would do that?
Who indeed? That one of the mysteries before us. There's another? Yes, a simple yet division question must be asked. Who swapped the red card for the blue card? Who? The game, the murder is done. The victim is dead. Only 2 remain in the room alive, that is. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the witness, Olga Orley. Okay, so there was that swap the red card for blue card. Phoenix Wright, Olga Orley, someone else. Someone else! Sorry, guys. The one who swapped the cards, that wasn't Mr. Right, of course. And well, it doesn't seem like it could have been Miss Olga Orley either. What are you suggesting? That's hardly logical conclusion, I'll admit. As the defense, I think it's the only that makes Miss Orley at this point. Yes, I know. But she was the one who dealt with the cards, right? I just can't believe she would make the mistake of swapping the wrong color card. And if the card was swapped during the game, it would be obvious. Something you'd like to share with the court, Mr. Wright? Oh, my apologies. Your Honor, I was just thinking how much fun all this is.
Fun? How about confusing? I have no idea what the defense is claiming, Your Honor. In one, you swapped the card that wasn't the defendant, and it wasn't Miss Orley? Then who was it?
Yeah, well, that's the question, isn't it? Precisely. Huh? I believe we're about to take the case a new direction. A new direction? We will find that out indeed after the murder. Someone swapped one of those cards in the victim's hands. And that someone made two critical mistakes. I'm sure you're going to tell us that the first was swapping the wrong color card. And because the one who did, the one that swapped didn't know two colored cards were being used. And the other mistake was the number on the card. Right. And the person that replaced the card with the fifth ace was a king. I'm sure whoever swapped it wasn't expecting there to be a fifth ace, after all. All they knew there was the game in hand and won with the full house. So they picked it up, a king from the table, and swapped it in.
But there's one problem. According to the case, our case records, the person that doesn't exist.
True, not until now. But you have to admit the possibility of the fourth person. Though it's more than a possibility. There was someone else there the night of the scene of the crime.
What?
I believe the judge spoke truthfully earlier. If you do make the trials ridiculous, Mr. Ray. The trials proceeded on one central assumption. Namely, that the time of the incident, there were only 3 people in that room. I believe this is new evidence. I believe that should be new evidence overturned as assumptions. The problem is that you choose to conceal this information from the court. I suppose that is a problem, yes. Court is adjourned for a brief recess. Mr. Gavin, I'll see you in my chambers during this recess. Certainly, Your Honor. Very well, the trial will resume in 20 minutes. Okay, guys. On that 20 minutes break, I will take a break. See you guys in the next one.